Weedsnacks, what's going down? We're at Route 66 Organics, and I'm here with Alex, one of the owners of the dispensary, and he's gonna tell us all about it. Alex, what's going on, man? The 5th largest dispensary in the whole country.
Right, and it's not a confirmed statistic, but based on the other dispensaries of the similar size.
Yeah.
And the difference is it's only within 100 square feet or so.
Now, is it true? You guys, this actually used to be a church and a women's prison?
Yeah. So the very first thing this building was a church back in the day, and then it was a women's prison, and then there was a manufacturing facility for textiles, and then we occupied it up. We have over 37 different vendors.
Very cool.
We definitely have the largest selection of micro producers in the state. In fact, the majority of our products are made by micro producers.
Wow.
You know, your mom and pops who put all of their hard-earned money into getting their
That's
product
incredible.
out of the market.
That's incredible.
So what we do here is we are more or less on a consignment basis for the business to business model.
Yeah.
And so the vendor who sells through us
Uh-huh.
is able to also get a percentage of the retail sale as well, and
Excellent.
on top of what their wholesale is as well. So it's a model that not only benefits them, but it's giving back to the small market.
What you said is there's conglomerates out there, big time profiteers in the market, and you've come in as essentially the big brother to a bunch of small mom and pop shops to give them the ability to play ball with the big timers,
Right.
or in the big timers league.
Right.
You are literally helping out the community of Albuquerque, New Mexico in every possible way in the cannabis culture.
Right. So essentially, a lot of these micro businesses
Yeah.
either were funded with the intent of only creating extracts because they didn't have enough funding to go and market themselves on the retail level.
Uh-huh.
So they had no choice but to wholesale their product. And that goes for producers as well. What we do here at Route 66 Organics, we give them a place for them to be able to showcase their product without us dictating the wholesale as to why we don't negotiate whatever their cost is for the wholesale.
Yeah.
We go ahead and take it, and then we give them a percentage of the retail sale as well.
Awesome, man. That's incredible. So you're empowering the community at the very base level.
Right.
Not to mention you're taking the medicine that those people are providing and you're putting it right back to the base level of our community.
Correct.
Man, I don't think you could be in more service work position. That's incredible.
Yeah, we have a really good selection of products. You can pretty much find anything that you're looking for here.
Okay.
And we try and keep everything as affordable as possible. We know the market here is an economy-based market, so we're not here trying to price gouge anybody. We're pretty competitive, and we have the largest selection by far of any other dispensary. We also allow you to hang out here. It's not your typical dispensary where you can come and be checked in. You'll be brought in and you can browse as you want. We do have 13,000 square feet for you to come in and relax.
Very cool.
So there's seating everywhere. You can come catch a sports game. You can come watch the UFC fights. We do host all of these events, and we also have random events throughout the week, such as yoga, and we're going to be doing a few paint and smoke classes as well. So this is a dispensary that is very in tune with New Mexico.
Yeah.
We have a really healthy car scene here, and a lot of our displays are car oriented.
Yeah.
We do also know the fact that we have the most beautiful sunsets in the world. So
Yeah.
we have the gondola for people to go and take selfies.
It kind of lends itself to the idea that when you're ready to expand, you could just stay on Route 66.
Correct. Yeah. So there are ambitions of going through Route 66.
Awesome.
And showcasing the local product as opposed to catering to the bigger community. But not that we won't, but we understand that the basis of success for all of us is to unite and be able to provide a place where somebody can have equal playing ground with the big guys.
Yeah, unity and diversity at the same time.
Yeah, so the goal at Route 66 Organics is as we expand to showcase the local the local product, and to also cater to the local community in which we move into, as opposed to trying to set our own expectations and our own way of doing things. Is more or less trying to give back to the community. We're veteran owned and operated. So with that said, we also care about providing these services to veterans who otherwise wouldn't have it.
That's awesome, man. That's incredible. What are some of the motivations that led you to strive to be a dispensary owner here in Albuquerque?
I owned the Zia Extracts. This is back in 2016, and my partners and I then at that point merged with Everest Apothecary, and we became employees under them. We've learned the ropes and stayed under Everest for a while, and then I went into sales with botanical laboratories and expanded their portfolio, and that was right around the time when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And I got a few offers to go work in San Francisco. So
did you extract some wisdom?
Yes, yeah, did a lot of extracting.
Yeah.
So at the end of 2021, I decided to come back and decided to hit up some old friends,
Yeah.
and we decided to make this a reality. We knew that we wanted to differentiate ourselves from what everybody was doing. We knew that because how liberal it was for people to just get a license, that there was going to be a lot of very similar looking dispensaries.
Oversaturation.
And oversaturation.
Yeah.
So we wanted to differentiate ourselves from everybody else by creating more of an experience than just your typical come get your shit and leave.
Yeah,
Excuse my language.
No.
But yeah, so this is a place where we invite people to come up to sit down and enjoy their product, come hang out, have lunch.
You actually have a saying behind it, right? What's that saying?
Consume responsibly.
And cannabis is a mood. You should be able to relax.
Right.
When you consume cannabis, and you're providing that type of culture here.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, we encourage our vendors to provide as many events as possible.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we try and provide this venue at no cost for people to host their own events.
Yeah.
Because we want to give back to the community in that regard.
Yep.
To where if people want to host an event, they can have a place where they can do so, and we can bring in the community, and we can all benefit from that.
Yeah. One of the things that is in creating canna culture is everybody has to be on board. I can't say enough about how big that is. You're giving people with big dreams an opportunity to reach for the stars. If they manage what they're doing properly, you could really pull them up and out of the bucket.
Yeah, a lot of these micros are friends of ours.
Yeah.
People who we grew up with as children, or I've been in the industry for a little bit over 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that, you get to meet people, and they're not vendors,
Right.
they're friends.
Yep. One of the things that a lot of us have talked about is, you've even said it, and we said it to each other in passing at one point, is that our friends' mothers and fathers gave loans. Our friends have sold their cars. They did anything they could to kind of scrape together the funds they could to try to buy into this dream. And you're giving them an opportunity to play ball.
Right.
Yeah. So Route 66 Organics isn't just a dispensary, it's kind of a collective.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's huge. So not only are you a collective for the growers, but you're attempting to unite the people on the other side by giving them a wholesome place to meet other like-minded individuals in the community.
Right. Well, and we want to create, as stigmatized as cannabis is, a family-friendly atmosphere.
Agreed.
A lot of the events that we hold for the community are open to the public,
Mm-hmm.
and we encourage people to bring their children, not because we want to introduce them to cannabis, but because we have a segregated place for them to be able to come and still be children, and their parents still be able to be educated on the benefits of cannabis, for them to come and go through what the other vendors that we bring in are providing to them, because it's not just cannabis that we encourage these vendors to come and sell. I have my nana who she makes a jam. We have other friends who have their own hobbies that they're trying to monetize.
Yeah.
So it's not just about cannabis; it's about really empowering the community to be able
Yes.
to use a place to be able to sell the goods. We have such a gigantic building,
Yeah.
and it would be really unfair for us to just try and hog it all to ourselves when we know that we can provide an avenue for the community to be able to hold events that they feel near and dear to their hearts.
Right. Yeah. And Albuquerque's a small community, anyways. We have only 2.2 million people in the state. So, real quick, let's delve into. You used to be an extractor.
Yeah.
And let's flex a little bit. Tell us.
I don't know if I don't know if I'm flexing, but I guess you could say I definitely paid my dues.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually didn't even start with cannabis until after I left the military.
Okay.
I was pretty sheltered growing up, so my very first experience with cannabis was at like 23. I was working at the Sprint call center here in Rio Rancho, and a coworker, I don't even remember his name, offered me a hit of some cannabis. It was too overwhelming, and I knew that I had to get back on the phone. So I remember first 3 to 4 phone calls were like 35, 40 minutes long.
Oh my gosh!
You're supposed to get this in
and out.
Yeah, in and out, man. I think I asked somebody their name like 8 times. But anyways, man, I've never really been somebody who knew or who was into the streets or anything.
Yeah.
But when I left the military, I had my some demons that I was dealing with. And cannabis was really helpful for that.
Yes.
So in an attempt to save as much money as I could, I dove into the forums, back in 2008, 2009, and educated myself on seeds, how to get them, and growing, and more or less, trying to harness my craft. My very first extraction setup that I built was made out of copper. So it was the easiest thing to get at Home Depot.
How long ago was that?
2011.
2011. I remember that. I remember that back then.
It was a small little spool that my dad welded me some stands so that it wouldn't completely compressed. And it's sure enough, a few months later, it was being sold on a few websites.
Yep.
But it wasn't I also copied it from a forum.
Right.
There was a website called Skunk Farm.
Yeah.
And it was a wealth of information on how to more or less experiment.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I was very detail oriented as to what I was doing, and I rarely had mistakes when it came to extracting.
Yeah.
And I would see these posts and this product looking like motor oil, like you spent motor oil. And it's all dark and tarry, and my stuff was coming out golden yellow, and so it from there I just I kind of felt that I had this was what my calling was.
It made sense to you.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, I would be considered somebody who people thought that wouldn't aspire to a whole lot. But I always knew that this was what I was doing, and it was hard for somebody to see your vision when it wasn't their own. I can't even tell you how many times I had these disagreements with my parents.
Yeah.
And I really had no ground to stand on because, I mean, up until that point, I mean,
there's no basis behind it.
Right, of course, and I mean, looking back, my mom was pretty cool about the whole thing, I guess, to a certain extent. Yeah.
Do they smoke now?
Do they smoke? No.
Good job, Mom.
Yeah.
What is your favorite strain that you guys got going on in here?
The Donkey Punch.
Oh, I love that strain.
Mm-hmm.
Very good stuff.
Yeah.
Do you recall what company grew it?
Yeah, LW Farms.
LW Farms.
Yeah, Big Mike's is the brand of the name that they go by. We have a few other strains, and I think the cannabis was grown wonderfully. I think it's Fred Freelander who grew it for them. I don't know if he's still with them, but yeah, it's in my opinion it was really good. We also have a strain by Genesis Organics that is really good. It's the premium diesel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. These guys are from Los Chaves. It's just south of Los Lunas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have some vendors who have really done a good job of putting themselves out there and creating the custom display that we wanted them to
Very
create.
cool.
Yeah, and we want them to be as unique as possible, because when somebody comes in here, I want it to be more or less like almost like a museum of cannabis, you know.
Yes.
Where you can come and it's very, and the way in which you display your products is very unique to how you want to portray yourself as a brand. We have a space that's big enough for you to be able to really express who you are as a brand.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
We're striving to really have events on a weekly basis.
Okay.
And really hoping to start doing events, multiple events per week. You can email us at root66organics@gmail.com. They can go to our website. They can also go to Canazobra.
Okay.
And inquire as to the events that they're hosting. We do partner with them, and they do host a lot of different events. There's going to be a brunch that they're going to be hosting.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
Yeah, and it's like a buffet style brunch.
You know, I'm excited about that. We check you out on online, and that'll let us know when we can tap in and come hang out and see what events are going on.
Go to the Canazobra Instagram account.
Okay.
And you can go ahead and also see the schedule of events that we're going to have at Root 66 Organics through our Instagram account or through our website as well. You can go ahead and see the calendar of events that we're having.
Very cool. Alex, I think we are going to get out of here for today because we're coming back to hang out with you guys quite a bit.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to be talking about a lot more stuff coming up. If you're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Route 66 Organics is where it's at. It's 4th and Summer.
Yes, sir.
And come in. They have a staff that's here to help you. They have a giant floor for you to wander around and browse at your leisure. And they have a giant service counter with lots and lots of space for all of the fun products you pick up. And if you feel like you just want to talk to somebody in charge, reach out to Alex, Route 66 Organics. Alex, thank you so much for having Weedsnacks.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Weedsnacks out.